KTM 500 EXC. Yep. Honda CRF450L. What's the better deal? Well, yeah, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it on the Rant and Ride.
Look what happened. I woke up in a big old pile of money. Hey, all you KTM guys, come on. I'm Team Warren. Don't think I'm coming down on you. I, on the other hand, and you on the other hand, and a lot of people on the other hand. So why don't we have a 450? That's a competitor to a lot of ice. But here's my thinking.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Joe, 690ADV, 690ADV.com. Hey, if you have not subscribed to our channel, go ahead, smash that little button. We'd appreciate it. We need all the dual sport riders we can get because we're trying to build something here. And I'll tell you what, we sure would love to have you at the 690 ADV. One more thing, I really would like to give a nice big shout out to Marcus Smallwood. He is our #1 and first Patreon. Yep, he's our first Patreon sponsor. And Marcus, this is for you, Rant and Ride. Thank you so much. We so much appreciate you. Anyway, on to the Rant and Ride. Guess what? KTM 500 EXC. Honda CRF450L. What's the better deal? In all honesty, what's the better deal? If you are looking for that serious enduro bike that still has that street capability, okay? A serious enduro bike. Now, the 690 is probably the best enduro bike all the way around because it's more road-oriented, but make no mistake, the 500, she'll take her, especially off the road. So, what's the better deal between the two? Because that Honda CRF, boy, it's got good buzz. It's got good buzz. It has got some good old buzz. Good data coming in from it, too. The Honda, it's based on the Honda CRF 450R platform. That's what it's built on. But make no mistake, it is not a Honda CRF 450R with blinkers. It is not. Make no mistake. It is not a CRF-R with blinkers. So if you're thinking that going to buy it, going, oh yeah, I'm going to get that and that's going to be my street. No, it's not. It's not. Okay? So just make sure that you understand that it is not that bike. The weight, not bad for an enduro bike. 289 pounds. That's pretty good. That is pretty good for an enduro bike that is street legal. Street legal. That's actually got enough power to go out and get in it and do the business. Now, the horsepower is kind of up and down, just depending on who you get your data from. I've heard as little as 43 horsepower. I've heard as much as 45 horsepower. We're talking about the States, man. We're not talking about Europe where they got like some 29 horsepower dumbed down motor. We're talking about the States. That's what we're talking about. So basically, let's just leave it across the board at 45 horsepower. Good tire selection, 2118. So you know it's an off-road setup bike. Definitely got the looks. It's a sexy bike. She is a sexy bike. She has definitely got the enduro look. She's got the off-road capability. She's got nice clearance. She's got nice travel. She's got decent amount of torque. Decent bike, decent bike. One of the little small things to it is if you're a short rider, 37-inch seat height. You know, if you're short, I mean, my buddy at KTM North Texas always told me, you know what, it doesn't matter how tall a bike is. Coming from a guy that used to race motocross, Todd over there at KTM North Texas, he just said, hey, who needs to put their feet down? You just got to get up and ride that thing. So I kind of agree with that, but at 37 inches on seat, it's a tall bike. So keep that in mind if you have any consideration for this bike. It is tall. You're going to have to figure something out if you're a short rider to make it work. Gas, 2.0, 1 gallons, basically 2 gallons of gas, not very much. Now that 289 pounds, they're claiming that's fueled up and ready to roll down the road. Now, Is that 100% wet? I don't know. I know it's going to be real close. It's going to be real close. So let's just say it's going to be between 285 and 290. So that's really pretty good. It's a 6-speed transmission, so that way it's got that riding gear when you're on the highway. I've never been in 6th gear off-road, so the only thing that 6th gear really means to me is when I'm out on the highway. The bike tacked out, rumor has it, now rumor, don't take me, because if you get a 190-pound guy versus a guy that weighs 150 pounds, you're probably going to get a little bit more speed. But the rumor is 90 miles an hour at like 8,300 RPM, and that's right when the rev limiter's just about to kick in, okay? So that is roughly, give or take, what that bike's capabilities are. And it's beautiful. Make no mistake, it's a sexy bike. I saw it at the Dallas Motor Show and sat on it. It feels light. It feels nimble. It feels like a fantastic bike. I like the blinkers. I like the look of the bike. I like the way it feels. I have not ridden it because they don't let you test ride those bikes. At least they don't here in Dallas. Now, if you own a Honda CRF450L and you own one, it's in your garage, man, down below, tell me all about it. Tell me why you bought it and what made you buy it. Why did you want that bike? Why did you want that bike over, say, a 500? And we're going to get to why in just a second. Moving on. Let's go to the so-called king of the enduros that are street legal. The 500 KTM EXC-F. Blinkers, mirrors, it'll do it all, right? But it's expensive, $690. It costs a lot of dough because you're spending your money on that bike, right? That's why a lot of guys complain about the $690. They're expensive. But you really do get what you pay for. But let's dig into it and let's talk about it and see if it really justifies the dollar amount. Does it justify the dollar amount? It's built around, just having fun with you, the KTM 500 EXC platform. It's got its own deal. It's its own freaking bike, man. It's a KTM. They didn't take away from any other bike. It's that bike. That's what they built it around. That bike weighs 240, about 2 pounds dry. I did the math. It's just a little over 2 gallons, right at 2.5. That bike is sitting in between about 250, 260. Now, I'm listening. I'm listening. That is a light bike. Not only that, at that weight ratio, and make no mistake, the 500 EXC with the suspension and all of KTM's R&D, they spared no expense. So if you're coming after KTM, you better pack a sandwich or 3. So, horsepower. Again, depends. It really depends. Because is the bike factory or has it been dynoed? Now, right out of the gate, it's going to be between 50 and 55 horsepower. It depends on who you are and what your weight is and how you ride the bike. That's pretty standard. So there is more horsepower there, and there is more torque. I do know that because, well, it's out there. It's research. You can go look it up for yourself. It's a sexy enduro-style frame. It's got ridiculous clearance. Ridiculous. 13 inches of clearance. Brother, you can go over boulders with that. Boulders. 37-inch seat height. She's tall, but guess what? All KTMs are tall, so you better basically just get used to it. Put a tippy toe, get a lowering kit, do something. All right? It's a 6-speed. And it's a good-looking bike. So that 6-speed, like I said, you're not going to be blowing through the dirt in 6th gear. It's just not going to happen. But the top speed at 5 to probably 5 to 7 horsepower more than the Honda, 115 miles an hour. That's the average of what it'll do. I know that they can be dynoed out. And guess what? Yeah. you can squeeze 60 plus horsepower on that bike. Literally 60 plus horsepower. That bike is redonkulous. Okay, so now you're looking into it, and you are basically going, all right, well, that's great, 690. It's a 450 versus a 500. It's not really a fair fight. All right, you're right, it's not. And I'm going to tell you why it's not. Man, it's windier than freaking crazy. It's windy, man. So anyway, you're saying it's not a fair fight. Well, Honda built this bike to compete with that range of motorcycle. So how does it really compare? In all honesty, it's not too far off. But it's not really going to compete with the KTM. It's not going to happen. The KTM is going to absolutely destroy it off-road. It is a better enduro bike. It's going to be better on the road. And it is going to be better in the dirt. But you're sitting there going, but it's a Honda. It's a Honda, man. It's bulletproof. Yeah, sort of. We don't know enough about it to know if it's bulletproof yet. Just because it's built off of a CRF450 doesn't mean that it's going to have the longevity of a CRF450. So, time will tell. So basically, between the two bikes, and here's my thing. I think that 450L is gorgeous, it's sexy, it's beautiful, and I couldn't wait for it to come out. Now let me tell you where it failed and why I would go and buy a KTM 500 EXC over that bike in a heartbeat. Let me tell you why. I'm going to make it short, I'm going to make it sweet, and I'm going to make it simple. Because the Honda 450L or CRF450L, guess what? 10,399 MSRP. What? For that bike? It doesn't have nearly the suspension. It doesn't have nearly the R&D into it that the 500 has into it. And that's just a little expensive for a 450. I'm going to be honest with you. I think so. So here's the deal. 11,199 is the 500 EXC MSRP. Do the math. You think I'm crazy? Is the CRF just overpriced at basically 10.4 in 11.2? That's $800, guys. That's $800 difference. And you can have a KTM that is a proven king of the enduros. King. It's proven. I just feel that Honda, and I really wanted it so bad, I feel they just missed it. And I tell you what, if they could have got that price in the low to mid nines, it's a home run, man. A home run. And I feel that they missed it with that price. Because at that price, now you're in the ballpark of a 500. And why would you go buy a 500? I mean, a 450L CRF when all you got to do is put 800 more bucks. And honestly, it is a far superior machine. So if you're thinking about going out and looking at those two machines, and I know you're thinking, hey, 690, you're biased because you own a KTM. No, proof's in the pudding. Data's out there. Go do your own research. You're going to find out that the CRF450L, and they're going to sell a slew of those CRF450Ls. They're just too expensive, and they're just a tad corked up. So you're going to have to do a little work on that bike. And I would just rather go and dump my money into the KTM. Proven platform, ready to race. That's it, man. That's it. So if you're thinking about getting one, just do the research. Do the math between the two. And then see which one that you want to put your money on. Me, I'd pay the extra $800 because I know I'm getting more than $800 better than that CRF 450L from Honda. Joe, 690. I appreciate you. You have a fantastic weekend. It's beautiful, man. It's 75. Don't forget, we got podcasts coming out on Sundays and Thursdays. We do have Patreon. We have a lot of things because we're growing and it's costing money. We sure could appreciate some help. But if not, we understand that too. If you just subscribe, hit smash, that's almost good enough too. I appreciate you. So, you guys have a great weekend. Get out and ride. Be safe. And thanks so much for tuning in to the 690 ADV. We love you at 690. 690 out.